Now that we've reviewed over the area and found the area of rectangles whenever it's been chunked up into pieces, what we're going to learn now is what we call algebra tiles. So we're going to use algebra tiles to help us find the area of a rectangle. And in the long run, what you're going to be doing is multiplying two polynomials together. So first off, let's talk about the size of the dimensions and the area. So in this first algebra tile, notice how I have a height of x and a length of x. So the area of this square algebra tile has an area of x squared. Now the second tile has a height of x. So if I slid these side by side, they match up and have the exact same height. And it has a length of 1. So when I multiply the two together, this algebra tile has a total area of x. The last tile we call the unit tile because it has a height of 1 and a length of 1. If I take this tile and I slide it and match it up here, then it's going to match up perfectly to the top of this tile, so it has an area of 1. So we're going to be working with the three tiles, the x squared tile, the x tile, and the 1 unit tile. So in these next two examples, you are going to be first off stating the dimensions and then using what you know and what we just learned to write the area. So let's start with our dimensions. So we have a height of x and we have a length of x plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So I have a height, again, a length of x, and then this one is the dimensions. If I have a height of x and a length of x plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, let's put those ones together and call it a length of x plus 3. So we have dimensions of x by x plus 3. So now what is the area of each of these rectangles? So x by x gives me an area of x squared. X by 1 gives me an area of x. X by 1 gives me an area of x. X by 1 gives me an area of x. So I have a total area of x squared plus x plus x plus x. And so, again, if you go back to what we were talking about earlier about our tiles, notice how I have an x squared tile and I have 3 x tiles. So I have a total area of x squared plus 3x. So let's look at the next one. So in this one, let's work backwards. Let's start with our area. So notice how I have 2 x squared tiles. Okay, because again, we already talked about the area of those tiles. So I have 2 x squares. Then notice how I have 2 x tiles. So I have a 2x. So I have a total area of 2x squared plus 2x. So now, how do I write that in dimensions? So I have a height of x, and I have a length of x plus 1 plus 1, or a length of 2x plus 2. So my dimensions is x by 2x plus 2, and that gives me an area of 2x squared plus 2x. So let's take a look now at this next picture. Notice in this picture how we've got several tiles. We've got the x squared tile, we've got the x tiles, and we have the 1 unit tiles. Notice how everything matches up perfectly together. So again, if I want to start with my area, because maybe by looking at the picture, that might be easier. Notice how I have 1 x squared tile. But notice how I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 x tiles. They're x tiles again because that is their area. So when I add them all together, I have 8x tiles, or 8x. But then also notice how I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 tiles that have an area of 1. So I have 12 unit tiles. So what is my total area of this rectangle? It is x squared plus 8x plus 12. So what did you just accomplish? Well, let's talk now about dimensions. So going back to height. So what we have to do is we have to look at this a chunk at a time. So in my picture here, my x tile, my x squared tile, I'm going to look at it and just piece it up. So from here to here, I have a height of x. But that's also the length that I have from here to here is x. Okay? So then now, what is the height of this rectangle? Well, from here to here, each of these have a height of 1. And so goes for the length as well. So here to here, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. So let's put that together by adding the length of the segments. So I have a height of x plus 1 plus 1, or a height of x plus 2. And now I have a length of x plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, or x plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I have my dimensions. What's cool about this is my length is going to be the exact same. So here is my x, a length of x, but also notice how I have a total length here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unit tiles. So I have a length of x plus 6. And again, I have a height of x, and I have 2 unit tiles with each a length of 1, so x plus 2. So what have I just done? Well, I've actually just multiplied a binomial by a binomial, and I have found the area, which is x squared plus 8x plus 12. So what you're going to now be doing is you're going to be playing around with algebra tiles, and you are going to be building rectangles using algebra tiles.